Mr. Brienza.
We're gonna be. Yeah. Okay.
And it won't be muted. It won't be muted like it has normally been.
So between 5 o'clock and 5:15, the camera's gonna be live and hot. So just live. Because that's how technology is.
Mr. Patton, why would you do that?
Yeah, just wait till
Because it would have taken longer to set everything up than the actual meeting would take place.
Okay.
So we're all about efficiency.
you got a minute or two.
All right. 30 seconds.
Just now, this is your time, the camera's gonna be hot after the 5 o'clock meeting, until 5:15, we're not shutting it off, so be careful. In between meetings?
Oh, because that's the public hearing.
Yeah, and then we got a meeting, so just know the camera's not gonna be shut off. So no jokes about it. In between. Well, I'm just saying, in between meetings, it'd be nice to
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to call this special meeting of the Yuma Union High School District Governing Board to order. Let's please begin by rising and saying the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Mr. Gonzalez. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. Moving on to item number 2, we're going to review the proposed school district budget for 2024-2025. Ms. Porterman?
So, I know this is what you've all been waiting for all year long. I understand the excitement. In a normal year, the way this process would work is we would propose a budget, and then we would adopt it at least 10 days later, but before July 15th, and then we would have revisions that would happen throughout the year. This is not a normal year. Having said that, as you know, the legislative session just closed. We actually got our final forms on Friday, so that's not enough time for us to be able to transform it all off of the preliminary forms onto the final forms. So the way this will work is we will propose it tonight. We will adopt it on the same forms in July at the board meeting, and then in either the August or September board meeting, we'll be back again with a revision to put them on the final forms. So it's not that we've done anything wrong, it's not that we're trying to do anything out of order, but that's the process we have to follow in order to make sure that our budget is legal. So having said all of that, I haven't done this in a while, usually this is a Brenda job. I tend to go at more of a high level, and then if you have more detailed questions, we can talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about in this budget. I'll go over each page and give you just a synopsis of what that purpose of that page is for, so that you'll have a better understanding, and if there's something more detailed on there, feel free to ask questions. So the first page is simply a cover page. The most important thing that I would tell you about that, there's 2 important things. First of all, you'll notice that the fiscal year 24 and fiscal year 25 tax rates are exactly the same. I don't have a crystal ball, I don't know what tax rates are, so when we do a revision later on in the year, we will change those to the actual property tax rates for fiscal year 25. The other thing that's kind of a celebration, something to be happy about, is our average teacher salaries. You'll see on the right-hand side of that first page, almost to the bottom, the average salary for all our teachers employed in fiscal year 25 is $57,241. Let me be very clear, that is their base year contract. That's their contract amount. That doesn't include any prop money, anything like that, any extra jobs, supplementals, anything, coaching, any of those things. And then, so that is a 6% increase over last year's budget that we proposed. On the next page, you'll see this is simply exactly what it's called. It's a contact page, contact information. So everybody's emails and phone numbers and software that we use are all listed there. Page 1 of 8, this is our maintenance and operation budget. So this is used for anything that lasts under a year. Typically, most of it is going to be salaries and benefits. Some supplies, things like that, transportation costs are in there, things like that. The thing that I would notice is if you look at the second and third column from the right, you can see the prior year budget was $108 million. The fiscal year 25 budget is $83 million. That's a big chunk. That's a big decrease. The reason for that is there's no carryover in that. This is when I develop a budget, it's very conservative. This is current year budget only. So when we do a revision, we will add that carryover when we know exactly what it is after October 15th. When Mr. Brown does the AFR, we'll know exactly what that carryover is. We'll do a revision and add that back in there. But this way we're spending what we have in the current year. And then the other thing that doesn't include is any student growth. We tend to grow every year, but we don't count on that. We don't rely on that, and so we'll make that adjustment in a revision in the future. Page 2, the primary purpose, two things here that I want to point out is on the left-hand side you see special education programs. The main point of this is we need to demonstrate that we are budgeting more than we did the previous year for maintenance of effort for our special education kids. And that's what qualifies us, part of what qualifies us for our federal funding for them. The other thing is in the bottom right-hand corner, we have to be able to demonstrate that we are doing our state matching for our food service program. So you see $1 million budgeted there so that we qualify again for federal funding for our free and reduced lunch kits. Page 3 is our classroom site fund. So as a reminder, last year our teachers received $21,500 on top of their base contract for meeting the performance goals and everything that's required for that. And so that's what those funds are, again, based on student count, on our weighted student count. Could you repeat that number, please? $21,500 each teacher. Page 4 is unrestricted capital. So this is our capital budget. I would point out again that you can see last year was $20,401,000. This year is $8,096,000. So a difference of $20 million to $8 million. Again, no carryover is included in that. And also, we're not counting any student growth. So you will see those numbers go up significantly. I don't anticipate a huge decrease. There will be some decrease because of our Somerton school and building things in there. So it will go down, but it will not be the difference that you're seeing right now. Okay, page 5. Page 5, again, you'll see the unrestricted capital, that's repeat information. You see the $8 million on top and just how that will be distributed. Our bond building and our new school funds have been depleted. Our bond is officially closed. And our new school funds, we've built Somerton High School. Those funds also at the end of this year or this fiscal year will be closed as well. And then the last column you see are adjacent ways. We are not levying for new funds this year for adjacent ways. It's the first time in many, many years, several years. Because again, along with that comes new construction. So when we built Somerton, we needed to levy for that. So the funds that you see in there now are $1.5 million. Those will be used as we continue to work on the gym, and we have other projects that go on across the district for emergency things, emergency vehicles going in and out, ingress, egress, those kinds of things we can use those funds for. So again, we are not levying property taxes to be able to raise funds for any additional funding for that. Page 6. On the left-hand side, those are our federal and state grants. You'll again see a lot of decreases there. That's again because not a lot of carryover at this point, not any carryover at this point. We don't know. We haven't closed out this year yet to know what those will be, so those will go up in the future. The one that will not go down, or will not go up, I'm sorry, more than likely, will be the line 19. You can see last year $20 million, and this year it's $5 million. Those are ESSER funds, so that's what we had for COVID funding. Those funds will be completely depleted September 30th of this year, and so those funds are going away. And then on the right-hand side, you see other fund expenditures. So those funds are actually cash basis. So that's what we expect to take in the year, or actually the expenditures we expect to have in each one of those individual funds. And then page 7 and 8 are used simply for calculating the maintenance and operation and unrestricted capital funds that we talked about on previous pages. And the final pages are a summary of what we just went over. That was my report. I'm happy to entertain any questions.
Does anybody have any questions for Ms. Porter?
Yes, question here. Line number 19, COVID funds. Can you tell me exactly how we spent that?
I'm sorry, what page are you on?
Page 6 of it.
On the ESSER funds?
Yes.
So a lot of those funds were used for cleaning supplies, cleaning equipment, health insurance, different expenses that we had with employees that had COVID through health insurance. We bought a lot of furniture to space students out in classrooms and in open areas. Cafeteria workers, when we had to bring them in to work when school wasn't open, but we still served food. Those kinds of things.
Ms. Porter, could I say transportation charter buses took up a
Absolutely.
huge
Oh, that was a huge one. Yes, absolutely. So for athletics, we were having a hard time getting drivers to be able to transport kids, and so we had to charter buses to do that, and that was a huge expense to our district. Millions of dollars.
So, I'm just curious, what was the reason we had problems for transportation?
Getting staffing. We weren't having bus drivers. We had a lot of bus drivers that were out, and the ones as they came in, we also lost a lot of employees that didn't want to come to work during that time. And so, when first come first served, they were used for to from transportation first. So that our athletics are the ones that had to use the charter buses.
So we got gouged.
We did. Everybody across the state did. We were competing with many other school districts and just a shortage of bus drivers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Okay.
I'm good.
I think we're good. Thank you so much. I appreciate your explanation. This budget always looks scary to me until it's like real, until we get all the real numbers. Is there a motion to adjourn our special meeting?
So,
Is there a second? Thank you. Motion made by Mr. Gonzalez, seconded by Ms. Craddock to adjourn. There's a motion. So moved. Oh, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Now we're adjourned. Okay, we have 3 minutes.
how you doing? Oh, there you go. Thanks for being here. That's a very quick meeting. Oh, were you for Oasis? Yeah. Yeah. So we have HR today. How'd it go, the training?
Not all of it got resolved.
Yeah.
So it's only go tomorrow, so hopefully tomorrow. So we know how to use it.
It's gonna take time.
Things aren't there to do, you know.
So,
I know, I should have. I will be back. I will be back. Okay, I'd like to call to order our special meeting for the Union High School District number 70. We set our pledge for the last meeting, so I think we can skip at this one. Item number 2 is consideration to approve routine personnel. There's nothing to be pulled, correct? Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you. Motion made by Mr. Gonzalez, seconded by Mrs. Nellen to approve routine personnel. Comments, questions? Or can we think about it? Great. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carries unanimously. Item 3, consideration to approve the proposed YUHSD school budget for 2024 to 2025. Is there a motion?
I move that the executive board approve the proposed school district budget for 2024-2025.
Thanks. Thank you. Motion made by Mrs. Mellon, seconded by Mrs. Craddock. Any comments, questions, concerns?
I do.
I'm sorry?
I do.
You do.
Not so much on the proposed budget, well, I think it's part of it as well, but I noticed that on the, where's it at? I saw an item on the, for the legislative, can you send us, is it part of the agenda here? Because I think I saw it.
The only items on the agenda are personnel and the budget.
Where did I saw the,
So I think maybe that was an email, but we were going to go around the budget.
okay, yeah, 'cause I
Maybe
did.
the Friday report for the AEL, which is not part of the budget.
Right.
That's what I get, but anyway, my bad.
Anyone else? Perfect. Well, then let's take a vote. All those in favor of approving the proposed YUHSD school budget for 2024-2025, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So,
Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you. Motion made by Mr. Gonzalez, seconded by Mrs. Craddock. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you very much for coming in.
I need autographs.